Hi guys, welcome to video. And before I go on to what video's about, just want to say thank you for the support on the Afterlife video last week. Really appreciate it. And yeah, as you know, or as some of you know, we are doing 3 times a week now for the next few weeks. Just while coronavirus carries on and people are bored, so the people who are loyal, who come to the channel all the time, watch every video. It's something to watch. Something for you to watch or something. So yeah, no, today we can discuss the career of Fernando Vargas. He is someone who I was always casually interested in him. There's a famous line Jim Lampley said, which said if De La Hoya can make him eat make Vargas eat his words, That was a famous rivalry. I'll go on to it later. Now, yeah, we are discussing the career of Fernando Vargas today, and it's going to follow up the similar pattern that I did to the Roy Jones career mode. So I will include clips when necessary. And yeah, let's get into it. So Fernando Vargas as a career, as a young boy, really, he was my age when he was doing good in the amateurs, and he was young turning pro, wasn't he? And we'll get to that later. But as an amateur, he had a decent amateur career, but not a high level amateur career. So not a high level would be wrong to say, but you know what I mean. It's not like the Lomachenko, it's not multiple Olympics and stuff. And in the amateurs, he won the Junior Olympics in 1993. He won the US Championship at 16 years old, which is virtually unheard of. I mean, that's amazing. And then he went to the World Junior Championships. And this was a lightweight now, so he was going up through the weights as an amateur. And he lost in the quarterfinals to a Kazakhstani fighter. He went to the Pan American Games in 95 and the bronze medal. And then he went to the World Championship. It's in a challenge match, so I assume that was like a match to get into the... I'm not as knowledgeable in amateur as I am professional. And then he went to the Olympic trials and box offs to get into the Olympics, and he lost in the second round to Marian Simeon, who's a Romanian fighter. Now, we know these Eastern European countries have very good fighters. And that's always been the case. And then he turned over at 20, I believe. And he's a power puncher, there's no doubt about it. And yeah, he knocked out virtually... Well, he did knock out every opponent. Yeah, he turned over the age of 19, I believe. And then he was one of those guys who just wanted to get loads of fights in. And then suddenly he versed the IBF champ, Uribe Campos, who is the most famous fighter, but he's known well. And I believe at this point, Uribe Campos never was knocked out, I want to say at this point. And it was, considering he's 14-0 and he was 20 years old, he became I believe, the youngest world champion. Not ever, but he was the youngest in the super welterweight title holders.
I don't think he's spitting it out. I think he's getting it knocked out of his mouth, Harold.
I think so too.
Good right hand by Campos. Just keeps coming.
Campos momentarily stopped. What an uppercut by Vargas. Left hand uppercut landed flush. Campos taking a beating through 7 rounds.
And he he's quitting.
He's not going to
That's it. That is it. Campos has had enough. Fernando Vargas, at 21 years old, is a world champ.
We knew then that like he was gonna be a special fighter, or at least we thought that. I say we know, but I weren't born on, but like if you get me, the boxing community thought, right, we got someone good, bruh. And dubious defense versus Howard Clark. I mean, he had 10 losses. When he was Roll Markers, and the Roll Markers only previously lost to Yuri by Campos. And it was a good fight. I watched it, and you could see Vargas adding some intelligence to his game, and wearing him down, and that's what Vargas was. He wasn't a one-hitter quitter, so to speak. Like that's what they say when you can bang out. He was a guy who'd be rough, he'd wear you down, and eventually you would just scum to the attack, and end up going down, and that's what Roll Markers.
Take out because they're hoping to win rather than trying to win. Some fighters you can't take out because they take a punch so well.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, and how well will Marquez take these punches? Raul Marquez has never been knocked down, and he may never have been in this much trouble either. And Vargas trying to finish him right now. The streak has a chance to stay alive, and it does. 17 knockouts in a row for ferocious Fernando Vargas. Too many power punches.
So, after the Marquez victory, I believe he had the best 2 wins of his career. Winky Wright, who, bear in mind, this is in 1999, and Winky Wright actually stayed as a contender as well in middleweight, because he went up to middleweight, and he stayed a contender in middleweight till 2005, 2006, and I believe he lost to Jermaine Taylor. Him and Quartet, 2 fights in a row, mind. So you had dubious defenses versus Howard Clark. But I think if I run Roll Markers, Winky Wright, Quartet. I mean, the run up to the Trinidad fight was brilliant. No, Winky Wright was a controversial decision. I led him on either 150-113 to Winky Wright. And you could say he deserved a rematch, and I thought that he was a really good performance. By far his best performance in his career. I mean, he didn't do a shutout or anything, but he showed in that fight. Bear in mind, I thought he'd only lost once to Oscar De La Hoya, and De La Hoya pulled that out of his arse, that win. So definitely those 2 fights are the best in his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the decision of the 3 judges at ringside. Judge Dave Hess scores the bout 114, a draw. Judge Jim Howard sees it 113. And Judge Deborah Barnes scores it 112 to the winner and IBF Junior Middleweight Champion of the World, ferocious Fernando Vargas.
Around on it. Oh, big uppercut back. Body shot.
Out-punch this big guy. I don't think so. At some point, you just got to say to yourself,
What a round 6 has been.
this is...
Fernando Vargas believes he has Forte ready to go. pounds away. It's a street fight in the Mandalay Bay. And it's the fight of the year so far.
Now the next fight after quarter, and I'll bring it up now actually, because I forgot to bring it up before. But going into the Ronald Winky White fight, he did have issues behind the scenes and may have affected from training like Larry Martin asked in the post-fight interview. But yeah, they were both good performances. I think to fight Winky Wright in his 17th, 18th fight, that's like hard, you know. It's similar to Anthony Joshua, you know, the way he came up quick. And then he fought Ross Thompson. There was a lot of trash talking there. He knocked him out in the 4th. And then we go on to the big one. We go on to Trinidad.
And you got to back it up, though.
Big left hook by Trinidad, and Vargas is stunned. Vargas is stunned and down. Sensational left hook.
Trinidad can't go to the well. He's not playing around now.
Second knockdown. This is what Felix said he'd do. No 3 knockdown rule in effect. Punished to the body for 7 or 8 rounds. This is an unusual situation.
Now he got hurt by a right hand.
Deadly and quick as Tito Trinidad. And Trinidad did everything he could to finish it right then and there. Give Vargas credit for showing some stability. You can see there that jab got into the eye, but Trinidad appears to be all right, and Vargas appears to be working himself into the fight.
And George Foreman CompuBox numbers agree with you that Vargas had the momentum before the interruption. He landed 23 punches out of 57 to 19 out of 29 for Trinidad in round number 3. Harold, how'd you score the first 3 rounds?
Okay, Jim, 29-26, 2 rounds to 1, Tito Trinidad. You gotta give him 2 extra points, and down goes Tito on a big left hook.
Well, Harold, whatever the score of the fight was before, it just...
Jim, there's no question. Out of the last 4 rounds, Tito Trinidad has released 3.
Down goes Vargas. Fernando Vargas must score a knockout or he's lost this fight. Down goes Fernando.
From instinct and courage.
He's out of it. He can't see Trinidad.
He's about to get knocked out. Fernando trying to survive. Fires a couple of punches and holds on like a skilled veteran.
He's a veteran.
And that'll do it. The 3rd right hand, the 3rd knockdown of the round. A huge victory for Tito Trinidad.
He closes this...
5 knockdowns, crazy fight. And what a fight. I mean, the consensus going into the 12th round was Trinidad was up by 2 or 3 rounds. The middle patch, Vargas had, so I'd say like after 8 rounds you could say Vargas was up by 1 or 2. And then 9, 10, 11, Trinidad talking, you could sense then, and he was on course to win a decision, and then he done that in the 12th round. Now I don't know guys, you'd have to comment, was Vargas, because I wasn't born, so I don't know, but was Vargas used as a opponent for Trinidad just to unify? I'm not really sure, to be honest, if that was the case or not, but not too easy about it. He got put in that Trinidad fight too early. Trinidad's 38-0, 2-weight world champion. I mean, you could argue that he actually lost to De La Hoya and might make a video on that next week. Yeah, so I will make a video on that, but going back to this, I think Vargas got put in a Trinidad fight way too early. When, come on, Trinidad was 38 fights in his career coming into it, and he was just 20-0. I mean, Vargas is still a baby. I mean, I compare his early rise like Anthony Joshua's, and sometimes when you're inexperienced and you come across because no mistake, Trinidad's 38 fight veteran, he's a wily veteran, and you will come across as like Andy Reese. he only lost 5 fights in the amateurs, even though he's a bit of a fat bastard, as we all try and make out to take a piss out of. He lost 5 in the amateurs and he only lost once in the pros at the time. So yeah, I could compare his early rise to that. So anyway, after the Trinidad fight, which I think arguably took a lot out of him. I mean, it did, but he had wins against less than stellar opposition. Now, he beat Wilfredo Rivera on his comeback fight, and when he knocked out Jose Flores in the 7th. When Oscar De La Hoya, that fight happened, and I just picture now, I could picture the commentator saying that, like, if only Vargas, Jim Lampley, I'm really sorry for forgetting his name because I love the HBO team. It's another video I want to make. If De La Hoya can make him eat his words, you know. And that was just famous commentating lines, in my opinion.
We expect the first round to be cautious and tactical. George Foreman, what must the two fighters establish from the outset? Focusing his jab on De La Hoya, or on Vargas's body, and now Vargas lands a big left hook counter upstairs. Drives De La Hoya into the ropes. De La Hoya close to being knocked down there, ducks and slips, gets away. And already you see the difference. When Vargas has De La Hoya against the ropes, it's a different fight. Big right hand by Vargas. De La Hoya slips that one. Oscar De La Hoya was stunned by the counter left hook.
I think if Oscar...
Vargas on another rocket left hook. A sensational left hook by De La Hoya. Again, he set it up with body punches. Vargas jumps up off the canvas. Let me at him. There's so much desire in Fernando Vargas. But a better fighter's beating him now. This would be the most satisfying moment of Oscar De La Hoya's career. If he could finish this guy. If he could make Fernando Vargas eat his words. If he could knock him out. And he does. Oscar De La Hoya has the most satisfying, the richest, the biggest.
So that was 2 big fights he lost to. The Trinidad and the De La Hoya fight. Common opponents. What came out of that fight was very interesting. He had tested positive for steroids. Now, people were speculating at the weigh-in, you know, he looked way more ripped than usual. His arms looked bigger than usual. And I've never seen his back look so muscular in all the fights I've seen him in. And he got tested positive for steroids. Now, I want to find a way to put this carefully, but he says I don't know how we're going into him. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But that's up for him to know and not for us, I guess. So after that, he went and beat Fitz Vanderpool and Tony Marshall. Mediocre opponents. And then this is where the downfall of his career really started. Although I think that the 5 knockdowns in Trinidad really took out to him. I still thought after De La Hoya that maybe, because De La Hoya did move up the middle, didn't he? And this is so unfortunate. He came in an era where the guys at 147 were so skilled, they were moving up for weights and they came to 54. Like the guys like Iquote, which he did beat Trinidad, De La Hoya. Without steroids, I believe the De La Hoya fight actually would have... I think the steroids actually were down for. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to put him on the ropes as much, but you wouldn't have gassed, because he did gas towards the end, but the consensus was again common to the Trinidad fight, well, yes, De La Hoya was up by 3 rounds on the card. After the Tony Marshall fight, he had severe back pain and he called time in his career. And then a year and a half later, he came back against Raymond Joval, which the record is generous, like 33-3. You think he's a decent winner. And Javier Castillo was probably up past it. And then we go on to the last stage of his career. Now, at this stage, people were thinking, could he come back? Now, I didn't. Obviously, I can look back in there with. I know his record before the fight, but you could tell watching the fights. But he wasn't the ferocious Fernando Vargas he was years back. I mean, he went. He knocked out Fitzvanderpool and Tony Marshall, but Joval and Castillo was up for that. And I think if he versed those guys in his prime, they would go knocked out. When he versed Mosley, which again is another guy severely skilled, came up from lightweight, he jumped super lightweight up to welter and super welter. That's the thing, guys. The only reason these guys jump up a weight is because they're severely skilled. If you're a title holder in that respective weight class and you're skilled, you can afford like Lomachenko. I think if you're not skilled and you go up a weight class, you're not severely skilled. I think you're just struggling a weight, or maybe you just want to go up to cut less pounds. So yeah, you had the two Mosley fights. Now the first Shane Mosley Fernando Vargas fight, and I don't believe the second. The first one was a WBA eliminator. Now, in his late 2000s, the super welter, after the passing of De La Hoya, mind you, De La Hoya did pick up a WBC belt after Espa. But the WBA ABF, I'm not sure if the WBO was recognised in 06. But it was a weak division, you know. So I think he could have picked up a title belt for Vargas because it was a weak division. Everyone's past their best. So he could have done it. So basically, this was a crossroads fight for both as well, and let's not get a mistake. And Mosley had a couple of losses to it's harsh, but mind you, he lost both times to Winky Wright. Now, Winky Wright, like I said earlier in the video, after unifying the titles, Winky Wright went up to middleweight then. So, 2 losses in a row, and then he had 1 fight back, and then he had this against Vargas.
Should Mosley be just going for the right eye?
Let's keep going for the right eye, that's all. Just don't do anything, just keep trying to hit him in the right eye. And in Fernando's case, he should be told to let full power go with every punch that he throws.
And Fernando tried to do just that, Manny, in the last round, delivering 15 power shots to just 9 to Mosley.
That's why I couldn't see why Harold had him losing. I thought that Fernando won the last round, even though his eyes closed up, but I didn't see where Shane did too much.
Shane continuing to work that eye, and Joe Cortez says, that's it.
And yeah, it was a controversial stoppage, and I feel like it was kind of the right decision, but it was controversial at the same time. And then he rematched Shane Mosley, and then Shane Mosley put a stamp on it, and see what happens.
Mosley into doing that and catching him with something.
That's what he did most of the night, and one of his best performances ever against Ike Quartet.
Yeah, but Shane is just Shane. I was going to say Shane is going to him because he sees that he's too slow. And that's it.
Vargas having tremendous difficulty responding to the left hook knockdown. And now he's up, and he's going to give Kenny Bayless a sign to let him know that he wants to keep fighting. But Vargas may not have legs at the moment. Yeah. He was wobbly as all get out after the big left hook. He takes the right hand.
That's why Shane...
After those 2 fights, we knew he was finally a short fighter. Now, he had his last ever fight against Ricardo Mayorga at 164, the catch weight was, for like a minor title. Mayorga won in a majority. Could have gone either way, but Vargas was knocked down twice in that fight, and he was short. I mean, in his prime, Mayorga probably he would have beat them easily enough. And let's make no mistake about it, Mayorga was an awkward customer. And awkward for anyone, really. He beat Vernon Forrest twice. I mean, Vernon Forrest is a good fighter, you know, so it's hard to deal with someone with a street fighter's instinct. But anyway, we're talking about Vargas, and what I want to say is, I remember him most for the valiant efforts he gave in his career. You could say he made more fame off his losses than his wins. I think that the Trinidad loss was epic, and I think De La Hoya's fight was not as epic as Trinidad, but Jim Lampley saying he can make him eat his words. And that was famous really from the early 2000s, late 90s. He was saying, oh, De La Hoya's not real Mexican, you know. And maybe so. But after the De La Hoya fight, actually, I think after De La Hoya fight he was alright, but after he came back from his back injury, I think he was a short fighter. And he done his final fight at the end of 2007. Now, my feelings is because he turned over so early. I feel most fighters turn over early, end their careers earlier. Like David, he turned over 21, 22. And he was finished 31, 32, and that was incredibly young for a heavyweight, really, to finish his career. I mean, most people consider heavyweights in their prime maybe late 20s, early 30s, you know. And I feel like he was completely short after the Marshall win. And he came back after the month and a half out. But I remember Vargas, and my opinions on Vargas is incredible heart. The chin wasn't so incredible. I mean, it would be disrespectful to say he had a weak chin, but it wasn't the best, so we'll leave it at that. I will also remember him as someone who could have fulfilled a lot more, and really, I think he could have had a much better career, you know. I think the match against Trinidad was poor. I'll always say that, and yeah, that's my thoughts on him, really. A fighter that could have easily done a lot more in the sport. I'm not saying he would have been a multi-weight champ, but maybe could have dominated the super welter division, because I think he was too small for middle. I felt like he could have done a lot more with his career, and his career was quite short. There was only 31 fights for it. And you could argue that his dominance was over after Trinidad. So, guys, I want to say thank you for your support. I had to get this video together a bit quick, so I apologise if it felt like the video was a bit rushed and stuff. I mean, I wake up 3 o'clock every day, normal upload time's off 7, so I made the first 10 minutes of video yesterday, and I had to rush today to do the end, so sorry if it was a bit rushed. Thank you so much for watching. If you want me to see do any of these videos with any other fighters, please comment below. Thanks. Goodbye.